Greetings, my friends. This is Maerlande. Let's start looking at turn number 19 and the continuation of my war with Vanheim. I should mention that in this game it's no diplomacy, none whatsoever. You may not talk to the other players. So what this means in all seriousness is that in this case I saw Abyssia attack Vanheim and thought, well, let's jump on the bandwagon. But he and I don't know what each other are going to do. So let's look at the messages. Well, someone's out there claiming a diss. Well, that should be Helheim, I believe. I did some searching. A little bit of love. Let's take a look at this guy. Omi Total. Omi Total, hanging out here in my fort. Found a couple of nice sites. Moonlit Halls and Hidden Valley. Hidden Valley's a good one. 2 gems. Other messages. Okay, we got a fight with Vanheim. So, just PD once again. He's not showing up yet. I don't think I'm going to bother watching that fight since it's just PD smashing. What about here in Holberg? Unsuccessful. So, Kappas aren't going to cut it. Well, let's see why. Maybe it was a lot of province defense. I don't have scouts there yet, so I can't see the numbers of province defense to know. Where are my Kappas? They must be here somewhere. Here they come. Yeah, nothing too special, but Kappas aren't that wonderful. They have that special ability where they do at their Kopo, they give a limp. But in this case, they're fighting cavalry. I don't believe you can give cavalry a limp, or can you? Oh, you can. So, there you go. But, so what? Just wasn't enough to matter. Okay, well, call that done. Some events. Oh, let's see what Abyssia did, and how he's doing. Maybe Vanheim rolled out defenses against Abyssia. I mean, I would love that my 2 neighbors bash each other senseless. What's Abyssia using here? Burning Ones. His capital only sacreds. A little bit of afflictions happening there. Tough things. They have pretty high encumbrance, but they have double morning stars. Not very good attack, but they get a bonus against a shield. So, against anything shielded. We've got Hedor, fire shields. Darn tough. I want to see his blessing. Let's take a look. He's using an Anointed of Rue axe. That gives him divine blessing. So he can bless everything no matter where they start. Looks like he's got a limping guy. Sure does. Something people might want to find out about or use. If you use the W key when you're in the army setup and you've selected a group of a single soldier in a squad, it will select all the others with a wound. This can be very useful for sorting. Well, as you can see, Abyssia tore him to shreds. But, and we also want to check his bless. So let's take a look. What is his bless? Oh, F4. Well, that's a pretty trivial bless. Although, with an attack of 14, yeah, not too shabby. It works. I usually would have gone for something like Earth Bless on these guys, whack their protection up a bunch, and give them reinvigoration. But that costs, and just plain scales can be good too. We'll see later on in the game if Abyssia can translate that into enough armies to really do some good. Abyssian troops are tough, and all having fire resist is handy. A tribe of centaurs and their allies knocked me out of the forest. So where's that? Right here. Centaurs and satyrs. Well, basically, centaurs are effectively mounted archers. Satyrs are typical light infantry. Shouldn't be too hard to knock them out of there in a hurry. Yeah, longbow. Otherwise, these guys just spear and javelin. So, I had bought a little bit of province defense, but clearly not enough to matter. We'll come back and deal with that soon. It's one of the disadvantages of playing with misfortune. You gotta kind of take back provinces on a fairly regular basis. In Winden, ooh, ouch. Lost some population. It's still above 5,000, which is the critical number for blood hunting. With growth 3, it should stay stable. In the last message, well, more misfortune. Isn't that funny? You already have misfortune and it stacks more on top. I'm kind of not quite convinced that's very helpful or even very interesting. And I lost a high priest to the sun from disease. Well, I can't do anything about that yet. Growth 3 does mitigate old age affliction problems, but you still can't stop it happening. So beyond that, Let's see. I'm going to try to penetrate deeper into Vanheim. Behind me, I'm buying a little province defense. You'll notice something here which might seem odd to folks. I like to buy province defense 6. Now in Dominions 4 I haven't confirmed, but in Dominions 3 the scouting reports were broken at province defense 1 to 5 was the first report, 6 to 19 was the second, and 21 or 20 plus was the third report. Varying by, how much province defense you see in a scout report. So the advantage to province defense 6 is it's extremely cheap. Doesn't give you patrol capability and doesn't give you unrest reduction like province defense 10 does, but it looks like as much as 19. And I just use it as a bit of a disinformation campaign. Make my provinces look a little tougher than they really are without spending gold that I may not want to spend right now. The trouble with province defense is that, except in fairly rare circumstances, it just won't stop a concerted effort. It'll stop the odd remote spell like Call of the Winds, and it'll stop scouts from attacking or single commanders or tiny squads. Beyond that though, most province defense won't stop a major effort. So it's not a very good use of your money. Outside of that, we've got recruitment. Same thing, pumping out Micklin Priests and Jaguars. Let's take a look, pumping out Micklin Priests and Jaguars. Same thing, back at home, pumping out Eagles, replacing that High Priest of the Sun that was lost. You can see, moving around Magi to do site searching. I try to do it in an efficient manner so that they move effectively, but you end up with things like this swamp, which is going to take 1, 2 moves, and then 2 dead moves, where that mage is not doing anything useful. But if you can work your way in a loop and avoid dead moves that you don't have to pull back from, you do save yourself time, and this game rewards efficient play. So I think that's good enough to cover turn number 19. Quick glance, yeah, I'm going to use my Eagles, and this time I'm going to do hold and attack rear. What I've done here, I talked about the W key. You'll notice those guys were afflicted. So I clicked, we can click on a single unit, press W, and there's none show up. So I'm going to use them as a sacrifice up front, get them killed, because why pay the upkeep if they're already beaten to snot? Similarly over here, a little bit different setup, but same concept. And I've still got those slingers there. So let's move on, turn number 20. See the action. Back to it, turn number 20. Found another magic site. Let's take a quick look. Ah, nice. Some astral. Well, that's helpful. What else happens in the messages? Okay, I took out those centaurs. Hardly a problem. I don't really think we need to watch that fight. Nothing too much going on there. Let's see if Vanheim has come out again. No, not yet. Still using... Oh, there we are. Okay. So some pretty hefty losses on both sides. I won. I wonder what worked. Now, taking a look here. The Eagle Warriors, the losses were awfully high. I mean, those are some good troops of his. So I wouldn't call this a disaster. Maybe a Pyrrhic victory. But I'm wondering, I think perhaps the Eagles are just not working for me. At least not against Vanheim. So let's see what worked and what did not work in that fight. Formation. So we have a look. Eagles are in the back. All of my commanders are in the back. That tiny handful of slaves I didn't bother because I had those 2 fairly seriously damaged Jaguars to stick up front and soak up the initial hits. Maybe take some lance charges. Or maybe take some shots. So he's blessing. And he's using the mounted herdmen's. Not sacred. I know he's got some sacreds here somewhere. Well, he's got a Van Jarl. And up here, he's got his Huskarls and his province defense. That province defense had some cavalry. So that was a worthwhile use to my first 2 Jaguar warriors. Let him keep coming forward. So, he's rushing forward. Hang on a sec here. I gotta try to click on the right square. Where is that guy? So he's going to use this Van Hearse in combat. bless him and send him forward. See how this works. Something I want to watch for is see if the blood vengeance is working to my advantage. Yes, okay, it's working alright on the heavy infantry of the province defense. What about over here where I'm being attacked by his cavalry? Can't see anything yet. Waiting for my turn to go. Turn off the pause. Okay, there's one there. That one got hit with a blood vengeance. Perhaps some other ones will as well. But, oh, and some of my jaguars are going to rush towards the rear. Hopefully penetrate. So fairly successful. Got the regeneration happening. I'm chopping up his infantry. And I'm able to pound through his glamour fairly well. So I think that's successful. A little bit of spells coming from the back. Okay, I'm going to take another quick look. So, magic resistance of 14. Alright, so that's a bit difficult. The blood vengeance is not going to have tremendous capability to affect him with that kind of magic resistance. So I may be in a situation where this isn't the greatest matchup. Gold for gold, I think I'm gaining, and that's fine. If we're going to play an economic war, I would have preferred to simply play a direct conquest rather than an economic war. But I do have good territories, I have fairly good scales, and I can pump out a tremendous number of jaguars. So I think that tells me what I really want to know about that one. Some more events. Misfortune again. More and more and more. Dominion -2. Where did that occur? Out on the edge here. Okay. So my Dominion is fairly solid around home with my sacrificing that's going on. Somebody's sacrificing right here at home right now. I've built those little imp familiars, put them on some Michelin priests, pumped up their research a bit. That's kind of nice. I'm still working towards that first goal of construction 4. Then we'll diversify after that. Doing a bit of blood hunting in my capital. Currently it has no unrest. The population's down a bit. There were some events knocked it down. But with growth 3 it will pick up. We got site searching, got the same recruitment, and after that event with the eagles, you can see I switched back over to jaguars. And now I'm going to grab a priest king, get some better nature magic going. Also, some important cross spells will come up, nature and blood. We'll talk about that when it occurs. We're not there yet. You can see I just keep running forward with additional reinforcements, because there's his capital. Let's see if we can shut him down. Something to keep an eye on, and I believe coming up here I made a mistake on that. We want to watch these rivers. I would prefer to get my Dominion over here and start pushing this towards heat and shut down those rivers. Keep him from reinforcing from over here in this area. But that can be a bit of a tricky thing. And I don't really have the blood slaves to be doing tremendous amounts of blood sacrifice. I still haven't rolled out my blood economy. Nobody's out doing it yet. I'm still just doing site searching, moving troops, so on and so forth. So I think that pretty much sums it up. Let's take a look quickly. Turn number 21. The war will continue. Let's see if we can grab his capital. Did I? Well, first we'll go off the top. Claimed the throne of ice in my name. Excellent. So that's my profit. Anointed of Ruach, Sabissia claimed a throne. I did some searching, found a magic site here in Kareen. Oh, well that's pretty nice. Druid's Grove, got some nature, Cedar Pillar, an enchantment bonus, and excellent gem income. But enchantment's not a great school for Michelin, so I probably won't end up making any use of that one. Another site's got a couple of blood hunters finally working away. This one's 7,500. Good place to blood hunt. Got 2 of them going. And got some patrolling. Keep that unrest down. Other messages. A little bit of love with a little bit more blood hunting in the capital. Grabbed a few. But then I'm going to switch them to sacrifice, because now I have a bit of a stockpile of slaves. I can start up some sacrifice. Other messages. Well, we're back to it. Let's see what happened in Vanheim. I took his capital. So that hurts. No matter how you look at it, he just took a bit of a beating. This is going to knock him back at least one turn, potentially much more than that. If he hasn't got another fort up, it's going to knock his income to basically zero, because it takes out all his tax communication or lines of taxation. And the battle went very, very straightforward. Hit the fast forward, take a look. Yeah. Here they come. Chop, chop. Beat them up. Beat them up good. I guess sometimes when you're watching a replay, and I'm trying to talk through this, there isn't anything terribly intelligent to say, so I guess I'll just throw in a little commentary. Random commentary. He shoots! He scores! Okay. You guys probably don't even know what I'm talking about. It's a pretty hockey-based theme. So enough of that. That went well. I can't hurt his fort. Well, that's not terribly surprising. He's probably got a ton of troops inside there, and he's probably going to come roaring out and attack me. But we'll wait. Got some patrolling. So you can see, I'm still moving forward. Bringing troops and reinforcements up. Pretty much basic stuff. But we have definitely done some damage to Vanheim. Taking about, looks like about a third of his provinces, maybe almost half, depending on how he's doing here. And this didn't do him any favors. Warrior Mages and a Dark Knight. Oh, that's Bogus and company. So he got his lines of communication up to the north part cut off by Bogus, which is a very difficult thing to deal with early in the game. I'm sure folks have played against Bogus and know that it tends to chop up your commanders with that flying Dark Knight on attack commander. So that's an advantage for me. Now, look at this. 130 units, militias and swordsmen, and I can't see his glamour troops, so he could have significantly more. And, as you can see, the river is open. My guess? He's not going to go across and clear his capital. He's going to try to knock me out of one of these two. Probably this nice farm here with 14,000 population and good income. But maybe here. So I'll put some kind of what I can for a bit of an ambush behind, and hopefully I can at least do some attrition on him. Well, thanks, friends. I'm going to call this the end for turn number 21. Hope to see you in game.